You're locked into the Boom and Freezer Show, powered by the best in the game, Classic Billiards, Metro Sportz Bar, Anytime Billiards, PNW Pool Thing, the RACK Billiard Club, J. Pechauer, Tommy's Tattoo Supplies, In the Box, Andy Gow, and Wayne Harriman. Now, let's jump right into today's show.
Bobby Hilton here from the Boom and Freezer Show. We got a superstar guest today. We got Sofia Mast from Florida. How you doing, Sofia?
I'm great. How are you?
Everything's good, Sophia. Good to see you. Thank you for coming on our show. You're known as the Pink Dagger. You've got to be one of the top, in my opinion, one of the top female players, not only out of the country, but in the world, I think. You're up and coming big time. You're winning everything.
Yes, it's pretty exciting to play all these events and get better and better. I've been playing for 7 years, so I practice a lot and I love playing events.
Good stuff.
I'm going to go over a couple things. This is what she won, Scott and guys out there listening. This is just in the last 3 years. She was the 50th anniversary Texan Open Lady Champion. I believe she was the youngest ladies champion of all time there. Silver medalist at the Predator Junior Worlds. The 18 and under champion 2022 and 2023. BEF 8-ball and 9-ball champion 2023. The BEF 14-1 second place 2023, playing a little bit of straight pull right there. Northwest Tour number 4 9-ball champion, 2023 People's Champion ladies. Just goes on and on. 6-time 13 under JIC champion, 4-time 18 and under junior champion. I mean, it just seems like tell us a little bit about that, Sophia. I mean, you played in so many events at 17 years old. That's unbelievable.
Yeah, it's been a lot. I love traveling. Having all those events under my belt, it's pretty cool. Happy that my parents support me and they allow me to go to these events. And I've worked really hard, and the hard work has paid off.
Yeah, real quick. So I have to interject here, and it's not a bad interjection. Back in my era, we had the old school way. My parents worked really hard. They were business people. And when I found pool, they loved me and supported me, but they didn't support me in a lot of ways. You understand? They kind of tried to shy me away from it, weren't big on like the dark pool rooms. I think it's absolutely amazing nowadays that people like yourself and the Roadrunner, right? I think people like you guys have such a background with your family and such a support system. It makes a massive difference, in my opinion.
Yeah, it definitely does. My parents have been supportive from the start, and then they help me with my social media. So then all my supporters in like my local pool hall or online, they help and get me to these places also, and I'm really appreciative of that. And like my parents, like they call me every day if I'm not with them. They always say like positive words, and they just are amazing. I love them so much.
That's awesome.
You got to be very lucky, Sophia. I'm sure you heard this from a lot of people, but like Scott's era and even my era, of course, I was before Scott, but nobody had this lineup that you have to go to, like all these events that you do. You're fortunate enough to have your family to travel with, but do you know how lucky you are, like to have these great events to go to? I mean, it's really special, and you are taking total advantage of it by kicking butt, taking names. But it's a really big deal. You have the opportunity to go to all these places, right?
Yeah, I'm super happy that all these events are happening and that pool's getting bigger so I can play those events, and that we have the money just to go to these events and to showcase and have fun and like showcase my talent. And like the events that I go to, everyone's so super cool and super nice. And it's just, yeah, it's incredible that I'm so lucky, very
So,
lucky.
Sophia, you mentioned money, and I got to bring it up, right? Because that's what this really, at the end of the day, it's very difficult to travel. Do you have sponsors? I'm sure. So, but I was just at the gym, and I overran my schedule here, and I just got in the booth just now. But I wanted to know if you have sponsors. I'm sure Bobby's going to get to that at some point. But if you have sponsors, do they help you travel to these places?
Yes, I have around six, seven sponsors. They support me very much. Pechauer, they help me.
Pechauer. You know they
Yeah.
sponsor the Boom and
Shout
Fraser,
out.
right?
Love
Yes,
it.
I'm newly sponsored by them. They have been so incredible to me and giving them everything I need. If I text them if I need anything. Oldhausen too, they work with Peach Hour and they've been very incredible too, going to events and seeing them at these events. And then how they give me tips that I can sell. Best tip in the game. And Jameson Daniels, he lives in Florida. He helps me out. Jam Up. They help me with my jerseys, anything I need. I'm newly sponsored by 3 Seconds cases, and I love my case. It's light, it's pink, you can see me anywhere. And then Seamless Quality Solutions. He's
I I
been great.
think that's really important. And I know Bobby, I'll speak for Bobby and myself. Sponsors, no matter where they come from, no matter what they do, whether they're involved in pool, they're a little bit outside of pool, somewhere they're intertwined. But for somebody like you, it just makes me very happy to know that people are supporting it, right? Because I think people like yourself are big representatives of this sport going forward, which makes an old man like myself very happy.
My sponsors have been incredible. Jam Up's been there from the start, and they are still supporting me. And I want to go far with my sponsors because, like, we pick and choose who we want, and we want the best people that or that I have good connections with. So I'm excited that they do that for me.
This episode is brought to you by Metro Sports Bar and Grill in Phoenix, Arizona. It's David Lee that owns the room. They've got a ton of nice diamond 9-footers and a ton of nice diamond bar tables. Great food, great atmosphere. They got every sports game you ever want to see. That's Metro Sports Bar and Grill in North Phoenix, Arizona. Give them a shout.
When did you first pick up a cue? When's the first time you got real passionate about the sport? Did you do it right away? Was it a couple months after you started playing? Tell us a little bit about that story.
Yeah, so I was 10 and a half. I didn't really know what the game was. And we moved to Florida from Virginia, and my dad like started a league, and he played in like an APA league, and so I just thought it was interesting. Like I would go with him during the league nights, and I would just bang balls around on one of the practice tables. And then Jeanette Lee, she ran APA Junior League in our area. And so I joined that junior league, and she's helped me get started with the basics of pool. And then my dad, of course, he knew that, like, he already saw the talent that I had in the game. So
Yeah,
I was like 7.5, yeah.
big shout out to Jeanette Lee, right? She's done so much for the sport. And her and I used to travel together and we did a lot of raising money for kids with cancers. And ironically, she's had her own struggles, but she's done so much for our sport. And you're probably right up next. I think you're going to do the same things.
I sure hope so. Like she's been really incredible. I got so many lessons from her when I was little, and I'd go over to her house, and she would just teach me. Like she was just incredible, and I'm glad that she's still in this game and helping other people out too.
Aren't we all?
How did you become the Pink Dagger? What's the big story? I know you have it everywhere on your cases, on your shirts. So what's the Pink Dagger all about?
Yeah, so I'm not like 100% sure like where it came from. It was like maybe when I was 12 we kind of came up with it, but I remember like I knew I wanted pink in my name because that's always been my favorite color. And then I'm not sure it was either my mom or my dad that like we were trying to think of a fierce like nickname, and Dagger just came up out of the blue. Like there were a bunch of like other ones, but that one just went like well with the like pink. So, and then we like created a logo, and it just fit well with me, I think. So it just came out of nowhere, really.
Your nickname kind of finds you, right? It does it.
Yeah.
You try to pick a nickname, you're not sure. You try a couple different ones. But obviously the Pink Dagger, everybody knows a dagger can really do some damage to you. So that's probably why it stuck to you, and the pink makes it nice and girly, which is really nice. And a squirt, of course. What about Scott? We never asked you about how did we get the freezer name out of there? Is it because you're cold-blooded on the table, Scott?
I don't know. I was 17 when I started playing, so she's been playing like she's 17 now and been playing 7 years. I'm thinking, my goodness, I started late, but I was in like a weekly tournament in my hometown, and I played safe, and I froze the guy to like the back of the ball, and the tournament director jumped up and said, "I get it, he's the freezer," and it just stuck with me. Yeah,
Wow.
that stuck with me. Yeah, yeah, it was pretty good.
That's pretty awesome. That's pretty awesome. And I'm the boom just because I blow stuff up. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. All right, Sophia, big question here. I read a bunch of your titles that you won, super great at 17 years old, all those big ones. Which one meant the most to you and why? We got to really dig in deep for this one. What was the biggest one that you won and why did it mean so much to you?
Yeah, so I'd say my biggest one would be the Texas Open. That one I won in 2023, and I lost my first match. Um, and my dad is like, you have to start playing safes, and I'll never forget it. Like he was kind of really mad at me because I wasn't playing safes. That's kind of how I lost. And he's like, you just need to win 10 matches in a row, and you'll be fine. And so I ended up doing that and double dipping in the finals. And so that was like my most memorable win. It was really, really great.
Reading a little bit about that. I think you're the youngest ladies to ever win that tournament, correct? You were always
Yeah,
16, 15 at that time?
2023.
23, so
Yeah,
2 years ago, right? 15
yeah,
years
it's
old.
like 15, yeah.
Wow. Amazing stuff right there. All right, let's talk a little bit more about you're a silver medalist 2023, right? At the Predator Junior Worlds in Austria.
Yes.
What was that experience like? Because I mean, you're playing for not only you, not only for Florida, but you're playing for the whole country of the USA.
Yes, I've played Junior Worlds a couple of times before that and just never did well. And so that year I actually didn't qualify for Worlds and I ended up getting a wild card. And so it was pretty exciting to get second being a wild card because like I didn't qualify, so I didn't think I would get that chance. And to take that chance that was given to me and turn it into second place because it's been a while since the U.S. Uh, juniors have gotten a medal at Junior Worlds. And so to take that and do that well was great. And then I ended up winning last year, actually getting a gold medal. That one was pretty exciting too. That was over the moon. That one's like right under the Texas Open, winning Junior Worlds that year.
I watched both of those finals. In the year you took second, I can't remember who you lost to, but I watched that one, and then I watched last year when you won as well. Who did you lose to in the finals?
Um,
Can you remember?
I can't remember her name.
Was
Um,
was was she an Asian? Was she an Asian player?
yeah, she was from Chinese Taipei. I
Yeah,
can't remember exactly what her name is, but I beat her earlier in the tournament, to get to that single elimination stage, and then she ended up coming and beat me. I think it was like 6-4 or
right.
something
I
like
actually remember that match really close. I was actually sweating you in pretty hard. I was pulling for you.
that. Thank
Um,
you.
yeah. And then who did you beat in the finals last year?
Last year I beat Savannah.
Yeah, of course. I
Yeah,
watched
with
that as
Sohail.
well. I watched that as well. Speaking of Savannah, you two go back and forth. We just had her on, and you guys have to motivate each other constantly, right?
Yeah, we play like basically every tournament we go into, junior, women's, anything. It's always a good game. Everybody's always watching. We're like the two that battle it out, and it's we always make it exciting for everybody.
Awesome.
That between that little rivalry between you and Savannah. Do you remember the first time you guys played it against each other? About how long ago it was? Do you remember that?
I remember the first time we met. Um, I think it was like 2022 maybe or 2021 at the BEF. We met there, so he probably played there. I'm not 100% sure, but yeah.
Okay, and as you guys got more, obviously hanging out and being a little more friendly, and then all of a sudden the competition starts to settle in, and you guys are starting to go back and forth a little bit. Did it start to heat up at some point where you're like, all right, she might be friend, I like what she's doing, but I'm going to kick her butt, and same thing, I'm sure she was doing to you. When did that start happening, or did it start happening?
Yeah, definitely when we started playing each other more and seeing each other at tournaments, and that the rivalry kind of came up, and we always want to play well against each other, and make a good game. We I don't know, we just play each other so much. We just get used to it. I feel like it's
Well, you know
gonna
this is
come.
coming.
Oh
This
yeah,
is
it's gonna keep going
I'm
too.
going to ask you, Sophia. I've got to ask you. It's coming. I know you know the win-loss record. Who's
No,
ahead? Who's ahead? You got to say it. I'm putting you on the spot. Who's ahead? You or her?
I have no clue what the win.
No?
I think like I got her usually in the beginning because I like
Yeah, you were a little ahead of her probably in the years
yeah
you
a
played.
little ahead, but I have never kept track. I have no
Okay.
clue.
All right.
It's pretty even, honestly, I think.
Oh, that's a
I,
great answer.
I, I got another tough one for you too. So say I call you in Savannah and say, hey, why don't you guys come play in the Shark Stream right now, a race to 15 ball. Who's going to win that?
Me.
How long did that take, Scott?
Not long, but she answered it correctly. That's what she's supposed to say. That's
Absolutely.
what's great about those two, though, in my opinion. When I was coming up, I kind of had Corey Deuel and Gabe Owen. We grew up around each other. Gabe Owen won the U.S. Open. Corey Deuel's won the U.S. Open. I kind of went a different direction with the one pocket, but I played a lot of nine ball in my younger years, and we seemed to draw each other in the semifinals, quarterfinals. We just played each other everywhere we went, and I think it's incredibly healthy. I think it's very, very good for you to have somebody like that you know just under your skin, it's right there with you. And really, even subconsciously, you guys are pushing each other as far as you can, which is great. I think it's great.
Yeah, we're always posting each other, and like we play 8 ball, 10 ball, the different games, 9 ball. My personal favorite game is 8 ball, and I do well in that. So whenever I can play 8 ball, like I enjoy it.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but I have to agree with you. I think eight ball is one of the best games in the world, if not the best game in the world.
Hmm.
Especially, there's just so much strategy within the game. A little less luck, right? And
Yeah.
it's just a great all around game because there's more than just making balls. Your cue ball's always got to be good. Your decision making's got to be good. I think it's by far well, it's definitely up there as one of the best games. I won't say it's the best. I work.
Yeah, I
I
just
work for
like
Matchroom.
I just like that it kind of takes a little less luck, like you said, and then there's more skill, I feel like, into it. You don't, if you miss the 8 ball, they have to run the table, you know. It's not
100.
like 9 ball, they just have to make 1 ball. So that's what I like about the game.
Yeah.
That's a great answer. All right, let's talk a little bit about this year. All right, we're talking 2025. Sophia's 17 years old. Now, you earned $11,000 already this year in pro events. That's literally like, I want to say, if you were playing the men's, you'd be like top seven for Moscone points. How does that, how are you doing on the pro level? And what do you see in the next couple of years with yourself? Because obviously you're transitioning and getting out of the juniors. You're right there to play with these women. You're literally so close. What do you think is going to happen in the next couple of years, and what are your goals?
Yeah, this year I've played a lot of the WPBA tour stops. I'm getting closer and closer to getting at least that top four. My highest finish has been fifth through eighth. Um, Playing those events, I do really well. I think I've played Christina Takac a couple times and beat her. And
That's
Oh
big wins
yeah.
right there. Big
That
wins.
is big. Those are big wins.
yeah, it was super exciting to beat her the first time last year and then beat her again this year, a couple months ago. But I feel like I'm at that level that I can beat anybody, and I have that drive too. in the next couple of years, I hope that I can at least get top three, or hopefully win it. I definitely have plans to go to college though, so it might like be a little bit um uh
Very good. Very
farther
smart.
on, but yeah, hopefully soon enough.
Yeah, you just said you beat Christina Tkach. I think she just won the last event, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and you also just said that you know you're playing good enough to beat anybody, and I think that's the great thing about the sport is when you know, and I'm talking about you yourself. I used to be the same way. When you know you can beat anybody, it's just a matter of time.
Yes, definitely. Once I got that win against her, like she won the world 10 ball last year. Like I beat the world 10 ball champion. Like I
That's
knew that
awesome.
I could beat anybody, and beating her 8-5, 8-5 was pretty sweet. And like at the world 10 ball, I ended up getting fifth through eighth. Like that was super exciting because that's some tough competition there.
Yeah, world class. When you start talking about, world champions and all those people in the WPA and the ladies events are magnificent players from Steyer and Ocean and everybody that plays it. Just so many good players. Of course, the Fishers and we can go on and on.
This episode is brought to you by Andy Gow. Like, share, and subscribe is his motto. And that's what we want you to do with our show. Like, share, and subscribe. And a big shout out to Andy Gow.
Let's talk a little bit about school. How were you able to juggle your schoolwork and now going to college? Do you know what you're going to college for?
I've been thinking about culinary or like pastries, the food.
Ooh, I
Yeah.
like it.
So tell us
So
about how you were able to do your schoolwork. Obviously, you made good enough grades to make it to college. So how were you able to do that and play at this level?
yeah, so like in ninth grade, I moved to online school because I knew like going to school was just never gonna work when I travel so much. And so I moved to online school. They're pretty flexible. I have like six classes and I can do them whenever I want. There's just like a due date, but I usually like go ahead before I go to a tournament so I don't have to worry about it. So, and the teachers are very nice about it. And like when I was in school, I just couldn't get that work like finished. And I'm very big about like school before pool. So I want to get those straight A's and get that work done before I go to events.
Yeah,
You need a logo of that on a shirt. Pool, school before
Before pool.
pool, the
Yeah.
pink dagger. That's really good.
I agree. That
You
is really
know,
good.
that's really good.
Yeah, that's why I've like decided. My parents want me to go to college, but I also want to experience it too. So I definitely am. Definitely gonna stay in Florida. Not sure like where yet, but definitely in that culinary pastry realm. Yeah.
Do you do any cooking now? Like, do you do cooking with your mom?
Yeah, I usually cook my own food at home. Or like I'll make or bake anything. If we have like a family get together, I'll make like these macadamia nut cookies that everybody loves. They are such good cookies. Um, and then yeah, I'll help my grandma like cook sometimes when we have those family get-togethers. I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
That's great. That's a great trait to have. I know that.
What else do you do besides cook? I know you don't have a lot of time. Obviously, like I said, you had to do online school, and because the pool
Mhm.
takes a lot of your time. Like we were just trying to get you on this show, and we were having a little bit of issue, right, with all of our schedules. It's not easy, right?
Yeah, it's definitely not easy. I watch a couple shows. School's definitely taken most of my time right now. Try to, because it started 2 weeks ago. I was already behind because I was already at a tournament, so it's been very tough to do that. And then I had to play another tournament last week, so I'm even more behind. But I definitely am gonna get ahead. Um, I whenever I'm home, I try to hang out with my family as much as possible too, because they don't go to a lot of events. I try to go with other people because they work. But yeah, it takes up most of my time pool.
I was just saying about this, Bobby. Back in our era, or my era, definitely your era. But I was thinking about it. Like when I was coming up playing pool, we didn't have like online classes. I couldn't sit at home and do school from
No,
online.
no.
So the more I think about it, my junior year is when I started playing pool. I was just about to turn 17, and then my senior year, I missed like 90 days of school, which is terrible. My parents were
Yeah,
not
yeah.
thrilled about it. But I was a good student up to that point. In that final year, my teachers got together. I wasn't getting in trouble really. My teachers got together and really they were the reason that I graduated. But just thinking about that now, you are pretty lucky, girl. You're pretty lucky because we didn't have that back then. You probably won't never see that side of technology. All you see is what's happening forward. But I think it's another reason, Bobby, that we've got more and more great young players, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. I'm super lucky, like all around. Like I said, when I was in school, I could not get that work done. Like I was just cry because they're not going to teach it again. And so I would have to like learn from another student or search things online. And definitely like the kids nowadays, a bunch of the kids are online. Like Hayden Ernst, he just started online. Eddie Von Drew, like every kid is online, which because we want to be that best and we want to sharpen our pool games, and we're so thankful to have that opportunity and that way to do schoolwork.
Oh,
It's fantastic, and you could just tell, like talking to you and Savannah and a lot of the other juniors. Not only are you guys it seem like you're educated, you guys speak well, you obviously can write well. You guys are doing social media, so you guys are taking the ball and moving it forward. You're not just taking, oh well, I got school, online. I'm going to just focus on pool. What I see from you is you're like, hey, I'm going to do the social media. I'm still going to cook, and I'm still going to do class. So how do you have that motivation to do that? Because I mean, it's hard to play just pool that well, and now you're doing college and still want to do cooking and stuff like that. So how do you do that?
Yeah, I've really always been motivated. I don't want to like just have that guilt or have like just sit around. I always want to have something done. So I've always had the motivation to do things and like pool to get better. Like I always want to get better and level up my game. In doing school, I can't see a grade under A. It kind of hurts me. So that also gives me the motivation. But yeah, I want to have that drive in myself.
if I was to ask you, Sophia, and I'm probably taking a question from Bobby, if I was to ask you one match, doesn't matter if it's a tournament win or finals, if I were to ask you one match that you're most proud of, it could be the first round, could be anything. The first match that comes to your mind, which one are you most proud of?
Um,
It's got to be the first one that comes to your mind.
I'd say it was the World 10 Ball. Like I was just proud because I played phenomenal. I played Bean Hung from Australia. She like I beat it was those sets, so I think I beat her like 4-0, 4-0 or something like that. And I just played phenomenal. And that one really gave me the drive that I can shoot because I like broken man. I played good saves, like locked her up, and she was kind of like mad at herself. So that one I would think that one gave me.
That's super strong. What year was that? How long ago was this?
This was last year, um, November, I believe.
Yeah, so that itself was probably like a little stepping stone for you within yourself and your confidence, right? We all have those
Definitely.
matches. Yeah.
Definitely, because she's a top pro player and she just plays so well. And I've played her so many times and just never gotten close or done that well. So I think that was the best match I've ever played all time.
Awesome. And I know you want to repeat that going forward, and we know you will. That's for sure.
So you're playing so well that you're talking about having a top pro, kind of like you said, she was a little upset, maybe talking to herself a little bit. That kind of makes you feel good, right? You just get a little bit better and more confident when you're kind of you put your energy onto them. You're like, I'm going to win this match. I'm playing good, right?
Oh, definitely. When I can like get their mind kind of going, it's kind of fun. Like Christina, sometimes she's um well like kind of what's it called?
You can say it. It's fun to get the emotion out of your opponent.
Yeah,
You want
yeah.
to draw that emotion out of them,
It's
right?
good to
Yeah.
see them like kind of like their game crumble. And when I kind of play so good.
Of course.
That kind of happened to her, and yeah, it was just a lot of fun. And that one, well, it was in Puerto Rico. I'm half Puerto Rican, so I had the crowd with me too. So it was great.
Do you speak Puerto Rican or do you speak Spanish in any way?
No, my mom
No.
does, but she didn't teach me.
It's
I
all
wish
right.
I did. I have taken a couple years in Spanish, but
Nice. So you speak it a little bit. You're very intelligent. So you probably speak it better than Bobby and I put together. And
a
I speak a
little bit.
little. I speak a little.
Oh,
Poquito.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
It's funny you say what you're saying. We were talking to Oscar Dominguez last show, and of course we always talk about Scott doing this, being a top professional as well. When you have those players that you can make them talk to themselves, or you get the crowd really excited if they're on your side, or if something even better. I know Scott loves this too. When you got a crowd against you and you can beat them to make them right. That's got to give you some kind of extra push, right?
Oh, definitely. Like the crowd, I feel like is everything. If they cheer for you, if they're like, "Go, Sophia," or there's like the crowd, you definitely want that on your side. It's definitely difficult when they're not.
Yeah, back in my day when when I used to travel, I got so used to because I'd be playing people for money. Obviously, I'd be playing people in their hometowns, and I liked it more. But I guess I got used to it. I liked it more when everybody was against me because I just loved making them all disappointed. But that was a different era. Now, like when Federer just played the finals um, in this match versus Yap, it's just incredible to see the fan power that he has. Obviously, Aloysius Yap does as well. But when Federer did his walk on and I'm doing the commentary, I couldn't hear through my headset. It was insane how loud it was. And I'm thinking, God, would it be like to be in his shoes nowadays versus back then when it really wasn't like that? So I think it's pretty freaking awesome that you've got fans behind you.
Yeah, it's definitely great. I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Let's talk about another event that you just had, and there was some fans there as well. Scott was actually there. The Florida Open, where you came the first women, right? The first women to make it to the finals of the junior championship, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty strong. I was actually doing a match and you were playing right behind us. And I felt so bad for you. We know what happened. If you wanted,
Everybody
if
knows what happened.
but I think Sophia, and I know you might not recognize this right now. Maybe you do. You're gonna hate probably how I say this, but I think it's actually good for you in the long run. It's just gonna make you grow. What doesn't kill you makes you stronger. You're gonna have more downs than you are ups in the game of pool or in the sport of pool. If you want to tell us about what happened, you can. If not, no big deal.
Oh, definitely. It doesn't hurt me at all. Like it does,
Sure.
it did make me stronger. And like after that shot happened where I made the nine and scratch to go on the hill, I think it was like 8-5 or something like that. Um, like after the match, or like a couple days or the day after, Tyler Steyer actually messaged me and he's like, "This is how you should have played this shot, this eight ball shot, because it really all stemmed from the eight ball shot um,
Right.
to get on the nine, to have that back cut." And he's just like, don't play short side. I kind of played short side with it and not move the cue ball so much." And he's like, kind of go around the nine ball and play it in the opposite pocket instead of the same pocket as the eight ball. And so, like, it definitely taught me that you don't always have to play short side because, like, I would have had a decent shot on the nine ball. Um,
Yeah.
so it was definitely devastating to lose that match, but to be the first woman to be in the finals of the Junior Open was pretty exciting to have that accomplishment.
Yeah,
And
I
I
guess.
don't,
Go ahead.
yeah, I don't usually play a lot of the men tournaments or the woman or the boys tournaments, so to play great against those boys was pretty nice.
Yeah, and people don't realize how good those guys play.
Yeah.
But yeah, look at what Felix Vogel's done now that he's out of it, and he could still play in the juniors, I believe. But back to the eight ball and the position on the eight, because I vaguely remember this. It's also how you're feeling at the time, right? I know the tension was high. There was a massive crowd, right? There's a big crowd. The tension's high, and looking back, I think it's great that Tyler messaged you and said that. I think that's great. But at the time, you probably kind of knew that as well, but maybe the nerves are a little bit high, the tension's high, so you wanted to simplify the cue ball, right?
Yeah, it was definitely very nerve-wracking because, like, in your mind, you know this is to get on the hill. Like,
Right.
and getting on the hill is just like an accomplishment in itself.
Absolutely.
Like, you're one step closer to get that title. So definitely, it could have been like the nerves. And when I looked back, like, I don't even think I could have scratched on the nine ball, in the side pocket. So.
Yeah, it was pretty cold. It was pretty cold.
It
Yeah, and I
was. It
wasn't on a
was.
shot clock, so I should have definitely like taken my time and thought of every option that was there, but I'm glad it happened. I think I am. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I've never really learned anything from winning. Most of everything I learned coming up was when I got beat, when it hurt, when you tasted the pain a little bit. And I think that that's really important. And your attitude is absolutely perfect for what's going to happen in the future.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree. And then we were just talking again, throwing up Oscar name again, top professional Mosconi points. And he had a little issue with the shot clock and he wasn't used to playing on the shot clock. And like he said, so now what he's going to do, he's going to get his shot clock at home and practice. So same thing from you, right? You're going to get your lesson, you're going to learn from it. And that's the big thing about it.
I don't. Did you have the shot clock, Sophia?
No, there was no shot clock. I could have taken 10 minutes. But
Yeah.
yeah, I was in the moment. I've practiced that shot many times, especially the nine ball, but of course the eight ball. And I mean, I also think it was the eight ball, but if you actually go back in the rack, I kind of got straight on the seven to
Right.
leave that long shot on the eight. So it kind of stemmed from the six ball, really.
Yeah.
But
It
I could
stems
have
from the
worked with
beginning.
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
from the eight ball. I could have
Yeah.
worked with it from the eight ball, but yeah, is just going back in the rack, I've practiced many of those shots like schoolwork, like
Right.
many times. So I've definitely learned and
Awesome.
if I would have done it, I honestly think it was the wrong shot playing short side. So, like, if I would have done it right, like how I wanted to do it, I wouldn't have learned the right shot.
Agreed, but the wrong shot to some people and the right shot to others, all under the situation. Tyler's known, and Tyler will be the first to admit it. I've commentated a bunch of his matches. He's known to have some different patterns, right? So what works for you might not work for others. At that time, though, going back, you're probably going to improve on it going forward. But like you said, you were one shot away from the hill. The nerves are high. You want to simplify the cue ball. I get it. I totally get it.
Yeah, it definitely it sucked because like I didn't get another game after that, and I had a chance to get the next game after that. So like it's crazy how one ball stems from your whole match. So
Sure.
you kind of got to learn from that.
Great. That's a great observation. That's what we want you to do. Learn and get better. Keep watching you. And let's talk about your number one fan at that event. I think the queen of pool, as we call her, the queen of nine ball, Emily Frazier was your biggest fan that week. I think she was more excited than you, to be honest with you, that you came in second, right?
Yes, I've met her like twice, I think, before that. And when we before the event all started, she's like, "I'm rooting for you," because I think there were two girls there, me and Tanvi, and she's like, "I'm rooting for you guys." And throughout the event, she's like, "How are you doing?" And she'll watch my match. And when I got to that arena to play the semis, she was always there. Yeah, she was definitely very big on supporting me and my biggest one.
Yeah, I think that's great. She pays close attention, right? She finds somebody that she likes. She pays very close attention. She doesn't veer far from the arena, and she likes to watch the matches, especially of people that she's watching come up. So I think it's really awesome. She's done that forever, and she truly cares about your finish and how you do within the sport.
Yeah, I was glad to talk to her and get that interview, and she left me a note and
I saw that.
gave me something. It was really great, yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Yeah, no, it was cool. I saw the same thing. And I was actually I was trying to get an interview with her for the last day, and she was watching your match the whole time. Every time
Yeah.
I couldn't get her away from you. She was watching it, so that was pretty awesome. And then when you had to take pictures from the finals, we got a couple. I think we got an interview with you as well. That was pretty cool to see her there, and she really wants you to do well, I think.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk a little bit about your mentors. Who's your biggest mentors in the game? Who's helped you the most? Like you said, now, you're already a superstar. You got Tyler Steyer calling you. You got Scott, you're on Scott's podcast. You're already a superstar, but who's mentored you the most? Who's
Uh,
meant?
Yeah, so my dad, he's always been about like mentality. He definitely helps me with like the basics of pool, but now that I'm kind of getting better, he is big about the mentality. But then also I got a coach, Sam Diep, and she's also big about mentality. So I definitely have people around my back to keep my mind straight. And she not only helps me with my mentality but also my game and picking the patterns in my stroke and um, picking drills. She makes me play straight pool. I don't usually enjoy the game, but I can see how many things come out of it. And like whenever I'm at her house, we'll play together. And she's like, this is if we play like a 9 ball rack, she's like, this is a straight pull shot, like a breakout. Because like straight pull is big about breaking out. But definitely the mental part, I have a lot of good people behind me. And I think I do pretty well at it because I used to not be like I'd always get so frustrated at myself. I mean, of course there's some times where you are, but I try not to get mad in the moment.
That's I just wanted to say hello to Sam. I know Sam pretty well. I haven't seen her in a long time, but what a sweetheart. And I know she does a ton for you and some of the other girls, or most all the other girls. And I think, straight pool, I hate straight pool, right? But she's
Yeah.
right. It was always a really good game to practice, though. And I think that that's one of the reasons straight pool can be a bit monotonous and a bit slow for somebody like yourself that likes to rapid fire and play a quick paced game. But I also think that's the good part about straight pool is it kind of makes you zone in and really concentrate on every single shot. But shout out to Sam Deep. She's a sweetheart.
Yeah, I feel like with me with straight pull, it's like you said, it makes you like focus more on the shots because you kind of want to be at the table. When you're just sitting in your chair watching them run out, like I'm kind of just like, what am I doing here? What am I supposed to do?
Right.
That kind
Yeah.
of happened at like when like you said, I got second. I was kind of just sitting there watching them run out. So I was just playing with my Rubik's Cube, just trying to do something because I don't know, I was just so bored with it. But it definitely makes you want to be at the table and focus on every shot. So
Yep.
there's things that come out of it, but it's
H-
definitely tough to play.
How quick are you with the Rubik's Cube? How long does it take you to solve it?
It takes me like a minute. I definitely want to get better at it. I could do the 5 by 5 too, but I haven't like I know the basics of it, like the first beginner level, but I definitely want to get under a minute before it like I want to once I have time to, yeah.
Do you know this guy Flavian that played out there at the Florida Open?
Um, I heard about him. I think I searched videos about him too, like he was like a Rubik's Cube pro or did it under
Yeah.
a
Yeah,
second.
he was
Yeah.
on America's
Oh yeah,
Got
America's Got
Talent
Talent. You're
or
brilliant.
Europe's Got Talent. Yeah,
Yeah, that one.
Britain's Got Talent, but
Mhm.
dude, he's absolutely amazing. But if you can do it in 1 minute, you can do a Rubik's Cube from scramble to 1 minute.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah,
dang
I learned
impressive.
it out of the blue. It was actually Sam's daughter. She had one at their house, and I thought it was interesting, and ended up learning at her house just watching a YouTube video, and I've loved it ever since, and I've taught my friends, and it's pretty cool to learn.
That's awesome. I love it. I love it.
We talked about all your fun stuff, all your big wins. Let's talk a little bit about your most heartbreaking losses. And what did you learn from your most heartbreaking losses? And did that make you a better player? And did you ever decide, I don't want to do this anymore? Have you ever had that playing this game?
Definitely, I've had that. I feel like everybody has. Um, there's so many heartbreaking ones, but
Yeah,
one that I can
they
think of,
outweigh the big ones. They outweigh the good ones, don't they?
yeah. I
Always.
mean, the Florida Open was devastating, but I definitely learned from that one. But
Yep.
that I can think of was it wasn't like it was heartbreaking because like I had a chance to beat her, um, but I was playing Allison Fisher, and I missed 5 9 balls. And so that
Oh,
one was like very, very heartbreaking to me because that was the first time I ever played her and the only time I've ever played her. And missing those 9 balls just it broke me because I could have beat her the first time I ever played her. Like that one was so heartbreaking.
how
And
long ago was that, Sophia?
this was last year, June, I believe.
Why'd you miss those nines? Were you just nervous or one built onto the other and it just kind of compiled?
Yeah, I think like once I missed one, I was like,
Yeah.
this one, I
I'm gonna
missed it
miss
last
this one.
time. I missed it the last time, and then, oh, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah. We've all
It
been there.
ended up
Don't
being
feel
eight
alone.
five, so I was still pretty close, but it was definitely heartbreaking.
Yeah, well, don't feel alone. We've all been there. Don't worry. Yeah.
What is that phrase in pool? It's not dogging it. It's like an avalanche. So you can't make a ball. When you're shooting that 9 ball, you're gonna miss.
Well,
You
I
just
tell
got it.
people ask me why I've got so much gray hair, and I've had it since I was like 35, and I said it's from missing so many nine balls. And I think that's the truth. I've probably got one gray hair for every nine ball I missed, and there's thousands. So, yeah.
Definitely. Oh, I'll never forget it. She'll never forget it either. She always makes fun of me. She's like, I'm gonna get you a rack of 9 balls.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I
She's
remember
definitely
that.
my inspiration with playing pool. She like anything I need, I'll go up to her. Playing that Junior World Finals last year, she watched the entire match. And when I took my break, she was there right with me, also mentoring me.
Oh, that's such a huge compliment. The Duchess of Doom. She's a sweetheart, and what
Yeah,
a player she was, and in my opinion, arguably the best of all time. In my opinion.
same.
I
Yep.
agree. I mean, even to this day, I think she came to Yale Billiards, my pool hall. I want to say 2 years ago, right? And she's playing the fans, right? Play a rack, and she was ruthless. She beat everybody 28-3, and when she took the picture, she covered the three over, so it looked like it was 28-0.
Yeah, she's ruthless. She plays
She's
great.
a character too, which I love.
Yeah,
She
she's
does.
funny. She's got a good personality.
Yeah, for real, for real. All right, let's talk a bit about your long-term goals. You talk about your next couple of years. We talked about you said you want to come in second, third. What are your lifetime goals with pool? What's your career goals? Do you see yourself winning a couple world championships, one world championship? What are your aspirations?
Yeah, so I definitely like I want to win the WPBA, but then I also want to win the world like 10 ball or world 9 ball. That one probably my biggest one. It would be cool to win it a couple times. But then also like kind of get on the men's tour too, the WNT tour. That would be pretty cool to start doing and do well in that. And like I've never played like Federer or Shane or like I've played filler before, but it was like in a doubles kind of thing.
Well,
Um,
Sophia, we know you got an invite to the World
yeah,
Nine Ball Tour. Okay, so what is stopping you? You've got the sponsors. Let's make this happen. Let's make it happen.
yeah. I don't know. I feel like that's just another level. Like
But it's so good for you,
it is. Yeah.
I think you're there. I'm being serious. I think you're at the point where I think the break is quite a bit of a neutralizer. I don't know how much you've broke with the 9 on the spot, but I know you've broke enough. And I think it's quite a bit of a neutralizer to where after the break is where somebody like yourself really comes in, right? Because you're still going to get a lot of shots. They're not going to put a ton of racks on you. I hope you do it, right? You obviously you don't have to play every event, but I think if you play a couple of events a year, you know how that is. It's like going from a 12-foot snooker table to a tight 9-footer. It's pretty easy, right? Your competition's going to really get a little easier for you if you play the World 9-Ball Tour as much as you can, in my opinion. And I don't think there's any better experience.
Yeah, I think I'll definitely sometime I will. And then like I also need to practice, like you said, the 9 on the break or the 9 on the spot break box. Like the
Sure.
WPBA we play nine on the spot, but we don't do a break box. So um the junior was that was my really first time doing it. So it was pretty interesting. And I have to hit the sweet spot. I haven't done it every time, so I definitely need to practice that because the break is everything with
Who-
these pros.
It is. Who gave you direction? So you had a pretty good idea of how to break the balls with the break box with the
Yeah,
9 on the spot?
so Sam Henderson actually.
Awesome.
I was like, can you help me? I kind of need a little help. I have no clue what I'm doing here. And he's like, yeah, of course. So he kind of gave me direction with that.
Oh, that's great. Good stuff.
Following you a little bit on Facebook. I think you and Sam, you might have, did you guys play at partners together or something? Or were you just hanging out going to different events? I remember there was something going on with YouTube. That's probably when he taught you that. Did you guys play in the partners or something like that?
Yeah, we've played together, I believe 3 times, in the Ultimate Pool events. Um, it was like a single elimination thing and we've lost all 3 times, but hopefully we get to play again and do well with each other. But he did teach me actually in July at the BEF. He was there for the men's open thing, and like we had to play for one of the events, we had to play 9 on the spot break box, so I asked him there to
Awesome. Yeah, and you'll get it. You'll figure it out. You know when the one goes long and the one goes short. You'll figure it out. It's not rocket science, like you said. But people don't realize how tough it really is when we're commentating these top pros and they're making it 90% of the time or 100% of the time in a match. I try to say go home and give it a shot yourself, right? Try it because it's not as easy as it looks.
No, it's definitely not. But I've seen a bunch of the pros, and like Federer, he's really good at it. He's like basically got it down. Of course, there's some here and there breaks, but
Sure, sure.
he just played the Texas Open and broken man 8. Like
That
he
was
had it
crazy.
right down.
I was just going to bring that up. You saw that, Red Scott. He ran an APAC, which I haven't remember anybody since I've been following pools. Prior years back in the day, it was a lot more, but since the break box, I think 8 is the largest I've ever seen.
Yeah. Now I know Federer's the first person that'll say this, or the people, his manager, who I was talking to all day today. Big pockets do make a difference. Like and that's really a massive deal, right? I'm not discrediting eight pack. That's insane. It's absolutely incredible. Shane did text me right after he beat Federer 9-0. But this is the first I've heard about the 8-pack, which is incredible to me. And like you said, Bobby, you just don't really see that. But also, like Sophia said, in my opinion, Federer's break is probably the most underrated on tour for an elite player. His break speed, his cue speed is up there with other players like Ackland Kachi's break speed, but Federer's got more control. So you get on a little bigger pocket, you might want to consider playing alternate the break. You just can't. I don't think you can ever defend yourself against a player like Federer on bigger pockets, including I'll put Shane in that box as well, right? Bigger
Mhm.
pockets, really tough to defend yourself against guys like that. They're just going to control you.
Yeah, I'm going to give you 2 examples too. Like there was an event over here in Connecticut at Jason's room, and I saw 2 people who you just talked to. Shane Van Boney ran a 7-pack on the bigger tables. This is before he got the Rassons, and Morris Newhausen ran a 7-pack. So 2 guys, like I said, the big pockets make a little bit of difference. Not discrediting those guys, like you said,
Sure.
great job, but unbelievable.
Well, I also, that's why I think the World Nine Ball Tour for like Sophia and Savannah, I think it's really good because of those tight pockets. These girls shoot. They shoot as good as any of the guys. So after the break, they're gonna have more opportunities. And that's where I really think you start to gain the experience on the outside of the game, right? Where the tactical stuff moves in and I think it's great. I'm not trying to sell it. I just think that that's what makes the World Nine Ball Tour what it is. If they were playing on 4.5 inch pockets, we'd see these guys running 10s and 12s all the time. It just wouldn't work. You
Yeah.
you just couldn't have it.
Yeah, I'm happy to see that and have I would like to play on those 4 1/4, the 4 inch pockets.
Yep.
Like I I would want to. It's exciting. Like I didn't expect how I was gonna play at the Florida Open. And so playing like how I did, I definitely had the confidence with that. Like it was definitely great.
Yeah, you could see it. You could see it.
Yeah, you start feeling I can make these balls in these smaller pockets, and then you feel not invincible, but you feel like I can do this, and it gives you a little chip on your shoulder almost when you're starting to play, right?
Hmm.
This episode is brought to you by Jay Pechauer. Jay Pechauer is on board with us, and they've just come out with a limited edition of Country Cues about America. They've got 50 of each cue, and they're online now.
You already told us you're going to college, right? You can become maybe some culinary. It's got two questions, and the second one I think might be a little tougher for you to answer. But what are your aspirations for outside of pool? Becoming, you have a career in mind. Obviously, you said you want to do some culinary. What are your aspirations as a young adult to become an adult in outside of pool? And then I'm going to ask you the second question after, but let's start with that one.
All right, yeah, I definitely want to go into that field. Nothing else really interests me. So, it would be cool if I could work in like a professional kitchen or work at a bakery or even own my own. Those were kind of my thoughts. Owning my own and making my own recipes. Like I love doing that kind of things. And like I really want to do more pastries than the culinary. So, definitely that one I want to focus more on. Right now, I'm doing culinary in high school, and so like I definitely know that that's going to be my field.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff. I love it. Where did you get into pastries? Why pastries and not like regular food? You're not overweight. I don't get it.
I have a sweet tooth.
Oh man, me too.
Just it's just so good, and I feel like with cooking, you can kind of change the recipes and things. Or like it doesn't have to be so precise. Like in pastries, it has to be precise. You have to, or else it's not gonna go right. But you can also be creative with it. But I like that you have to get all those measurements right and like have a clean workspace and um, because it's not right. It's either right or wrong. Like
I love it. That's pretty cool. I
yeah,
learned
I don't
something.
want to be wrong. Yeah.
Here's the question I want to ask you. All right.
Okay.
You know what's going on in the pool world, right? See, big things are starting to happen. All right, your name is all over social media. You know, you're doing so many big things. And here you are going to college. Obviously, you're family oriented, you got a great family behind you. Uh, what part of you wants to say, I don't want to go to school. I want to become a professional pool player and I can make a career at this. I can be social media influencer. I can be a world champion. And how do you decide which one to go? And is there pressure from the family?
It's definitely tough because I've played pool for so long and I definitely have the talent to go higher with it. I'd say like 40% out of like 100, I kind of just don't want to do school. Like I want to go play pool, but I definitely like in my heart seeing all like videos and my sister just went to college like 2 weeks ago and I want to experience it. So it's not like always just peer pressure from my parents. I in my gut, like I want to do pastries. I enjoy it. Like it's basic. I'd say it's 60 and 40. Like I like pool more, but pastries like it's right under. Like it's
I love this, Sophia.
so
So
yeah.
I feel like it's almost more your decision and not as much outside pressure from your parents, probably, right?
Oh yeah, definitely.
It's impressive. There's a lot more to life, whether people like what I'm about to say or not. I'm getting ready to load my boat up and go up to the ranch in the next day or so. Bobby's trying to keep me slaving away here, but I'm getting ready. You know, my whole life since I was a baby, basically 3, 5 years old, I love the outdoors and I love to fish. I'm sorry, but there's other things in life besides just pool. And I think at your age, that's really, really good because you just never know. You're probably always going to play pool, but you've got to do what you love and what you want to do. And you've got to be able to experience other things. And obviously, education, if that's what you want, is number one.
Yeah, and I always think of it as like I feel like pool is most likely always gonna be there for me.
Right.
But like I need to have something else. Like it's just it can't just always be something that I want. And um like I was thinking about maybe like I could still do pool and do online college, but I think it's just better just to go and put pool off to a side. It's okay.
I love it.
I'll
I
definitely
love it.
keep playing. I'm not gonna stop, but it'll just be on hold for a little bit until I have something that I can fall back on.
You've got a very bright future ahead of you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
100%. And no matter what colleges, whether it's Florida University or Florida State or wherever you're going to go out there in Florida, I'm sure they're going to have a pool room in there and you're going to go there and you're able to make some lunch money on those guys as well.
Right? Yes, I can definitely.
Yeah, my daughter went to Southern here in Connecticut. They had a pool room and she went there and she actually she beat a lot of the people playing pool for money there. It was pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
Good
super
stuff.
cool.
I kind of want to go. I feel like somewhere in Orlando, and there's like a pool hall there that I know, and like maybe I can take people over there and
It's called Classic Billiards. Classic Billiards, Dave Bartosiak, shout out. Or is that? Oh no, that's not in Orlando. What pool
no,
room's
that
in
one's in
Orlando?
Miami, but
That's
the
it.
one
That's in Fort Lauderdale. That's my sponsor. Which one is in Orlando?
it's called RACK.
Racks.
Yeah,
Rack. Yeah, yeah.
that one,
That's where
that
Dominic plays out of, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
but that
Ryan
one's
Bell.
not far from the university. So
Where do you live right now? Exactly.
I live in Tampa, Wesley Chapel.
Tampa, like Tampa, St. Pete? Tampa,
Yeah,
Clearwater?
it's called Wesley Chapel. I'm like Clearwater's like an hour from me.
I know that whole area really well. Okay. I love that area. I spent a lot of time down there when I was playing back in the day. There was some good rooms down there back then. Wow.
Yeah, there's a lot of good rooms here, yeah.
Yeah. Awesome.
Sophia, we're going to let you go. I want to say, I know Scott probably is going to say the same thing, but we're
No,
very
I don't want to
proud.
let her go though, Bobby. She's
Hey,
got to
I'll
stay
keep
with us
talking.
another 3 or 4 hours. Let's just hang out. I'm enjoying it. Now go
No,
ahead, Bob.
you got some great, get a great head on your shoulders, and we're very proud of you in the pool world. And we know whether you go to college and become the best pastry chef in the world, or you stay playing pool and become a world champion, you're going to do great and be amazing at it. So we're very proud of you. Thanks for joining us on the show.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.
Thank you, Sophia. It's been an absolute pleasure talking to you, and do whatever you feel is best in the future. Appreciate you coming on the show.
Thank you guys.
All right. Have a good night.
Thank you.
Shout out to our amazing sponsors, Classic Billiards, Metro Sportz Bar, Anytime Billiards, PNW Pool Thing, the RACK Billiard Club, J.P. Shower, Tommy's Tattoo Supplies, In the Box, Andy Gow, and Wayne Harriman. Make sure to check them out, and thanks for supporting the Boom and Freezer Show.